The automotive industry is standing at the precipice of a revolution, a shift in paradigm that has been gradually gaining momentum over the past few years. The electric vehicle (EV) market, once a niche segment with limited appeal, has exploded, with major manufacturers vying to outdo each other in a race towards what many consider the inevitable electric future. Against this electrified backdrop, Nissan CEO Makoto Uchida's recent announcement comes as a shocking twist. Uchida has revealed that Nissan will be steering away from the production of EVs to focus on hybrid technology instead. This move is not just a strategic pivot for Nissan, but a narrative shift that could have wider implications across the automotive landscape. To fully appreciate the gravity of this announcement, it is essential to consider the context. Nissan is not a newcomer in the electric arena. In fact, they've been trailblazers. The Nissan Leaf, introduced in 2010, has been one of the world's best-selling EVs, a poster child for affordable and practical electric transportation. The company's commitment to zero-emission mobility seemed unwavering, with substantial investments in EV technology and infrastructure. Thus, the decision to suspend EV production in favor of hybrids is not merely a change in production plans. It is a statement that reverberates through the corridors of the industry, signaling that the path to the future is not as straightforward as once thought. Uchida's rationale behind this strategic shift stems from several factors. For one, the hybrid technology represents a middle ground, a compromise that marries internal combustion engines with electric motors to offer improved fuel efficiency and lower emissions without the range anxiety and infrastructure demands associated with EVs. Hybrids also appeal to markets where the transition to fully electric transport is hampered by a lack of charging infrastructure or by consumer skepticism. It's a bold move, especially when you consider the current landscape where European automakers like Volkswagen and BMW are doubling down on their electric lineups. Volkswagen has been aggressively expanding its ID series, aiming to become the global leader in electric mobility by 2025. Meanwhile, BMW is not far behind, with its i4 and i8 models pushing the envelope in luxury electric driving. These companies have been investing billions into battery technology and charging infrastructure, anticipating a future where electric is the norm. Across the Atlantic, American auto giants are not resting on their laurels either. Tesla continues to dominate the EV conversation with its ever-expanding range of vehicles, and with the Cybertruck on the horizon, it shows no signs of slowing down. General Motors has thrown down the gauntlet with its Ultium battery technology and plans to offer 30 new global electric vehicles by 2025. Even Ford, with its Mustang Mach-E and the electrified F-150 Lightning, is making significant inroads into the electric market. So, why would Nissan, with a strong position in the EV market, decide to shift gears at this crucial juncture? The answer may lie in a cold, hard look at the current market trends and consumer preferences. Despite the hype, the global market share for electric vehicles remains relatively small, though growing. The infrastructure for EVs, while improving, is not yet at a stage where it can support mass adoption, especially in less urban areas. The price point, too, remains a significant barrier for many potential consumers, with EVs often commanding a premium over their fossil-fueled counterparts. Hybrid vehicles, on the other hand, offer a more accessible step towards electrification. They don't require the same level of investment in charging infrastructure, and for consumers not quite ready to make the leap to fully electric cars, they provide a familiar, less daunting alternative. Toyota's success with the Prius, and more recently with the RAV4 hybrid, exemplifies the market's appetite for such vehicles. They've proven that there is substantial demand for cars that combine the best of both worlds, offering the promise of eco-friendly driving without the need to change one's habits radically. Uchida's announcement could be seen as a strategic hedging of bets. By boosting their hybrid offerings, Nissan is positioning itself to cater to a broader audience. It's an audience that might include those who are eco-conscious but are not ready for a fully electric vehicle, whether due to range concerns, price sensitivity, or a lack of charging facilities. In markets like Southeast Asia, where Nissan has a strong presence but where the EV infrastructure is still in nascent stages, hybrids could indeed be the more pragmatic choice. It's also worth noting the technological advancements in hybrid powertrains. These systems are becoming more efficient, more cost-effective, and offer performance benefits that were not possible a few years ago. By focusing on hybrids, Nissan can continue to innovate in powertrain technology without being overly reliant on the progress of battery technology and charging infrastructure. Nevertheless, Uchida's announcement has left industry observers and consumers alike wondering about the long-term implications. Will other manufacturers follow suit, or will they press on with their EV strategies? And what does this mean for the future of electric mobility? One possible outcome is that this move by Nissan could trigger a new wave of innovation in hybrid technology, pushing it to new heights and making it more competitive with pure electric powertrains. It might also inspire other manufacturers to consider a more diversified approach, offering consumers a mix of hybrid and electric vehicles to cater to different needs and preferences. Certainly, the implications of Nissan's decision are not confined to the company itself. They send ripples across the entire industry and its supply chain. Consider the battery manufacturers who have been ramping up production to meet the expected surge in demand for EVs. A major player like Nissan, putting less emphasis on fully electric cars, could prompt a reassessment of investment and capacity planning in these facilities. It might even affect the research focus, diverting some attention back to optimizing hybrid battery systems, which differ significantly from those designed for full EV use. Uchida's move is not unprecedented in the auto industry. In the late 20th century, the American automobile manufacturer General Motors developed the EV1, an electric car that was ahead of its time. However, due to various factors including consumer habits and the limitations of the era's technology, GM decided to discontinue the EV1 and shifted its focus back to conventional gas-powered vehicles. While the contexts differ, the lesson is clear. Innovation in the auto industry is not a linear path, but a complex interplay of technology, consumer preference, market forces, and regulatory environments. The timing of Nissan's decision also coincides with a period of intensifying discussion around climate change and the role of transportation in carbon emissions. Governments around the world are setting ambitious targets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, with some even announcing future bans on the sale of new internal combustion engine vehicles. The UK, for example, plans to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars by 2030, which puts pressure on automakers to develop zero-emission vehicles. This regulatory landscape might make Nissan's pivot seem counterintuitive. However, hybrids are often seen as a transitional technology that can contribute to emission reductions, while the full-fledged switch to electric mobility is underway. By improving the efficiency of gasoline-powered travel, hybrids could play a significant role in reducing overall emissions in the near term. Moreover, Nissan's strategy might reflect a nuanced understanding of global markets. While Western nations and China are aggressively pushing for EV adoption, other parts of the world are lagging. Infrastructure challenges, economic constraints, and regulatory environments vary greatly across regions. Nissan's bet on hybrids may be a recognition that a one-size-fits-all approach to vehicle electrification does not align with the global diversity of car markets. This is not to say that Nissan is abandoning electric vehicles altogether. Uchida's strategy could very well be a dual-track approach where hybrids receive a stronger focus without completely halting progress in electric vehicle development. This way, Nissan remains competitive across different market segments and ready to pivot back to full EV production should the market conditions shift again. Furthermore, hybrid technology itself is not static. The advancement of plug-in hybrids that offer longer electric-only driving ranges could serve as a bridge, providing customers with an experience closer to full EVs while still retaining an internal combustion engine for longer trips. These vehicles could satisfy both the environmentally conscious consumer and those with lingering concerns about EV range and charging time. As Nissan pivots towards hybrids, the world watches with bated breath, curious to see how this decision will affect the company's fortunes and the future of mobility itself. Whether this strategy will lead to a detour on the road to electrification or if it will prove to be an alternative path to the same destination is a question whose answer lies in the unfolding chapters of automotive history. Thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure the notification bell is turned on so you don't miss a video.